Hello and welcome back to Andrew's Tabletop Gaming. My name's Andrew and today we're going to talk about the Pokemon Team Challenge, which is happening at the moment across the world. This is where your local friendly game store can hold online tournaments using PTCGO or Pokemon TCG Online to find 4 winners of their 4 events to make up their team to take part in the competition. So I took part in one this weekend, the first of one of our local game stores tournaments on Sunday, and as you can see, it's all run through the Pokemon website. There's links in here. If you go to the tournamentcenter.gg, it takes you to the team challenge page and you can register. Make sure you have a Play Pokemon number, so you need to register on the Pokemon website to do that. Click the register now. That will take you through to the RK9 Labs website where all the tournaments are listed. Again, you will have to create an account on this website, put in your personal details and your Pokemon Play number, and then you can go through the list of tournaments. This is the list of tournaments in my country, in the UK, in Great Britain. And yeah, it shows you all the ones that have run and are open for registration and are accepting deck lists, which is not the same time generally. So one of my local game stores is Level Up Gaming, so I took part in their tournament on Sunday. There was only 4 of us, but considering it was my first ever really sort of competitive tournament, that was pretty good. Enjoyed myself. Did a bit of filming, so I will show you 2 of the games. Unfortunately, I forgot to video the first game. The first game was a loss to a Scentiscorch deck. It was best of 3. I won the first one fairly comfortably. Second one I sort of misplayed late on in the game, and the third one he pretty much won it quite well, to be honest. But I have footage of the other 2 games which I will commentate over in the rest of this video. So yeah, if you are interested in doing this, I would suggest getting yourself registered. Try and find your local games shop. If you can see down on the left hand side, you can change country. So if you're based in the USA, you can have a look in all of the states. But like I said, I'm in the UK, or Great Britain as it's known here. So it's a fairly simple system. Go down to the one you want to do. Registrations are open, so click on the registration, go to registration. It gives you some information about the store. If they've got a Discord channel which they're going to use for communication, you'll need to join whatever communication outlet they decide to use. You go to registration. I'm already registered, so there you go. There's my birthday. If you want to send me presents, that's my birthday. So yeah, you can obviously unregister here, and then if you go to your player's dashboard, it shows you what you are registered for. You can go to your deck list creator, and that allows you to then register your deck for the event. This is basically the deck that I used in the event. It's basically a simple Eternatus deck with the 4 Galarian Zigzagoons minus the scoop up nets just to give it a little bit more consistency, really. So 3 Pokemon Communication, 4 Quick Ball, 3 Great Ball, 3 Marnie for Professor's Research, 4 Crushing Hammers to ward off those pesky Pikachus and ADPs, and 4 Boss's Orders, because bossing around the big boys is a good way to win with this deck. It's running 11 energy at the moment, which might be a little bit heavy, so there may be something I can do here. And the other thing is I'm running the Alolan Meowth and Persian GX at the moment, just basically to disrupt the GX decks, but I may change that as well for the weekend, or I may go for something completely different in this event. I was thinking maybe changing to Pikachu and Zekrom, but we will see. Maybe I'll give this another run out, see how it goes. As I'm in this second qualifier, it's sort of a spoiler that I didn't win the first one, but we'll get to that at the end of the video. So let's get right into some gameplay. Okay, so let's get into some gameplay. This is round 2. As I said, I lost to a Senti-Scorch deck in the first round, 2-1 after winning the first game. This game is against an ADP variant. Pretty strange deck, something I'd never seen previously. The first game here, we only really saw the Victini and the ADP. Had a pretty good start. Going first, obviously I'm not going to get an attack off, but the setup wasn't too bad. I did make one major error. Oh well, there's probably more than one, to be honest, but we'll see that in a minute. Thinking of whether to ping the Victini with the Zigzagoon damage, but I decide better of it. Probably going to do it anyway, or ping the ADP when they come onto the field. The way that my opponent played, I've never really seen that sort of way before. He was basically just playing with one Pokemon all the time. So he's going to use the Victini to load the ADP up, and then, you know, obviously try and use Altered Creation to try and take more prizes, and then use its Ultimate Ray to do damage. I think his draws were not the greatest in this first round. And as you can see, my hand is pretty good. We miss the Crushing Hammer to get rid of an energy, but we get the ping off with Zigzagoon. This may be the mistake. Yep, here we go. Using Capture Energy to take a Crobat. What a plonker, but we get the Professor's Research off and get a Crobat anyway, and loads of ways to get my hand lower. So it's all looking pretty good. I'm not sure if we just sit on this time. This might be me just thinking, what shall I do? I have a way to get the Eternatus, but at the moment I don't have a switch. So that Spiritomb is stuck in the active at the moment. So yeah, we go searching for another Eternatus instead of the VMAX, because at the moment it looks like we've got plenty of time. Looks like ADP is going to come up and do ADP things. which means I'm not going to take any more damage. We Pokécom the Crobat for a Crobat just to get rid of it. And then we Crobat for 3. Hit another Crushing Hammer and get rid of that water energy. So yeah, all looking good. You know, like I said, all I really need is a switch card. We've got Marnie for next round. We've got a Quick Ball and a Pokemon Communication and another energy. So yeah, sitting pretty sweet. Can't think what could happen to make this go bad. Looks like we are definitely in front. We're definitely going to be hitting first. And we've got the 10 damage onto the ADP, so a full bench will take the knockout with the Eternatus VMAX. So yeah, my opponent is playing greens, gonna find themselves a couple of trainer cards, another tag call to get another tag team Pokemon, which I believe is ADP. So yeah, the band going on to the Victini, which is a bit of a strange one, but there we go. Arceus, Dialga and Palkia, and a Maloilana from the tag call. And I expected this to go down. I expected it, you know, the ADP to go down to the bench, and then maybe, you know, we would see the two of them loaded up, but that didn't happen. No, yes it did. I lie. But I believe, yeah, the scoop up comes up, the ADP comes up, it does its ADP stuff, so Victini goes back on the bench for powering up that other ADP later. But by this time it's all a bit too late. I draw a switch off the top, which is, you know, pretty incredible, to be honest. Not that there's not like 3 or 4 of them in my deck to draw, but yeah, got a bit lucky off the top deck. Marnie could have obviously drawn us into it anyway. So now we've got our VMAX, we've got the switch. And this ADP is toast if I can get a full bench. So we're gonna max this out. Quick Ball the oh no, change of mind. Pretty sure we Quick Ball the energy away, get a Pokemon, and then Marnie, or not, or maybe we don't. The right play is to Quick Ball the energy away, and okay, so we grab a Pokemon, which is my last Crobat, and then we Crobat, try and look for some Pokemon, and we hit absolutely nothing. So the right play here would have been to Professor's Research all of this into the dust, but what we actually do is we Marnie it all onto the bottom of our deck and get really lucky again. You can say lucky, I like to say, you know, it's well played. So yeah, we've also got the Zigzagoon to ping the other Arceus, Dialga and Palkia, and a full bench, and this game is over. Absolutely done, dusted. If I can pull a Boss's Orders off of these 3 cards or out of my deck, then this game is over. So the Victini comes back up, I believe, Fire Energy, and then it's just a case of loading that other ADP up. And I can't remember if I draw the boss off the top. So more greens, Giant Bomb, or whether we have to play around this Victini for a couple of turns. But yeah, If this was me on the other side, I probably would have scooped. But, you know, give it to my opponent. He's playing to the bitter end, seeing if there's any outs. Just looking to see if there's any boss in my deck, in my discard pile, so I know there's 3 or 4 in there. And he managed me into the one card he really didn't want to manage me into. I was going to well played, but then we drew another boss's orders off the top, and I didn't really want to be cheeky. So yeah, that's game 1 of the best of 3 in the bag, and on to game 2. Game 2 was slightly different because all I can think was the tag team Pokemon that he used in the second game was priced, because in this game we see a slightly different variation. We weren't using open deck lists, so I had no idea what he was actually playing. So all I can assume is that yeah, what we see in this game was prized, so he didn't have access to it. My opponent gets to choose whether I win that or not. We mulligan, he mulligans, so, and then I draw an absolutely incredible first hand. Yeah, there's not a lot more I could have wanted. You know, I've got the Dark City to go down to give me movement off my bench, and this is where it all gets a bit silly, and I'm like, well, do I want to ping all my Zigzagoons into this Victini knowing he can scoop up net? So I basically take it nice and easy. I believe a couple of Zigzagoons go down this hand to ping some damage into it, but I don't want to use them all, obviously, because they're a great way of leveling up the playing field with ADP. And yeah, I think basically that is my turn 1. We've got a Crobat for turn 2, we've got Professor's Research for turn 2, or a Marnie. We've got the Power Plant if he decides to swap out the Stadium, but I think he is also playing Power Plants, so it didn't really make a lot of difference. I would have liked the Dark City to stay on there, but I think it gets pinged. And here we see the difference. We see the Moltres, Zapdos and Articuno, so the legendary birds in his hand, and again it stays in his hand for a while. I'd expect it to go straight down on the field, but I guess, you know, if it's not on the bench then I can't mess around with it. And we see exactly the same start as the first game. Victini loading up the Arceus, Dialga and Palkia, and yeah. But I would say my bench is a little bit better than last time. So the Power Plant's going to go in the bin off the Quick Ball. Be Quick Ball for something, I don't know what. I can't remember off the top of my head. Another Return to sounds like a good idea. But we decide to ditch it, which is not the worst idea. Crushing Hammer, missed, and now we have to decide whether we're going to Crobat or Marnie. We decide to Crobat and hit basically nothing. So now we either Marnie, which is probably the best idea because he's got 6 cards in his hand and we don't really want him to have all those cards. So, and yeah, we pull into some stuff. Not great, but it gives us a chance to have a look, see if we can pull up a Remax. We do, Once again, I'm thinking, well, he's not going to be doing any damage this round if he wants to go for it. So I think in the end I do stick it on the active. And then we've got a Cape of Toughness for one of the bats to give them a little bit more protection. And yeah, we just pass it back. This is where his tactics start to change. He, I believe, hard retreats to Victini, and then comes up and starts attacking with Arceus, Dialga and Palkia ADP. Which, in hindsight, I'm, slightly better strategy. The Big Charm takes it out of range as well, even if I did have a Zigzagoon. I'm not one-shotting this thing anymore, so 310 damage. He gets the fire back on the Victini from Ultimate Ray, and I have a hand that I'm going to Professor's Research. So pretty good pulls here. We got Spiritomb, we've got a second Eternatus, we've got the energy we need. Great Ball to stick something else. We get our last Crobat. So even though he's managed to attack first, he's not two-shotting my Eternatus VMAX anyway, so I decide it's best to swing in to ADP and see what happens. And once again, we've pulled into a full board. We don't really need these anymore. Even with a full board, we're not going to be doing enough damage. So Building Spite on Spiritomb, so maybe later on we can use it as an attacker. And yeah, we just decide to 240, 270. It doesn't really make a lot of difference. I believe they were playing Mallow and Lana, but even with a Mallow and Lana, Eternatus is still going to do enough damage. So yeah, we're sitting, we've got no energy on the board if our VMAX goes down, so that has to be a little bit of a concern. But they also are sat there knowing that their tag team Pokemon is going to die next go, no matter what happens, really. So yeah, this I found, I don't know what's in their hand, but I believe they're sat there probably shaking their head, screaming at their computer, and then all of a sudden they hard retreat their ADP to the bench, which with Victini is not the worst idea in the world, because they can just charge it up almost immediately. Assume I don't have a boss. My draw potential is lower at the moment because I have used all 3 of the Crobats I have in my deck, and I don't have a draw supporter. He doesn't know that, but he can sort of have a look at my discard piles, see what I've played. And here we go. Yeah, so we have an attach, and then the Victini, I believe, puts the water energy back on, so ready to go. Unfortunately for my opponent, I do pull in to the boss's orders, which is very unfortunate for them. So Building Spite and Spiritomb, I believe I just then boss it up and probably give it a clobbering. So yeah, so once again I'm sat here thinking, well, this is game over. Victini's obviously going to become active. I know they've got the birds in their hand, so that is probably going to be played down. We could see another ADP, obviously. So here's greens for 2 trainer cards. And let's see what they pull. I believe they go with the birds. And yeah, so they've pulled a tag call to get the ADP. So that's what I'm looking at. We're looking at maybe they've only got 3 main attackers. Oh, sorry. So they used the tag call for another, for the birds. So maybe I'd Marnied them previously out of their hand, which I don't really remember, but we probably did play Marnie at some stage. Victini is loaded up with the bomb, so I'm sort of like, well, I don't really want to be swinging into this thing with my Terminatus VMAX. I could have switched into the other one and just taken the damage on that one, but the better play seemed to be to use my Spiritomb to KO this Victini, stop the acceleration of energy which this DeBirds seems to want. I didn't really know what the actual card did, so it all becomes a little bit of a surprise when it starts happening. So why I haven't put the Eternatus on the bench at this moment, I don't know. I don't know why I was keeping a slot for empty. Don't want to do 270 damage. Why? That just seems silly. But we managed to hit a crushing hammer, get rid of an energy, and then then take the knockout. Pokemon never get killed; they just faint. And yeah, so we pull the energy as well. We've got a capture energy and an energy. So I get reset, but I think by this time this is pretty much done. I do have a little bit of a wobble in the middle of this. So again, we've got greens coming down to get a couple of trainer cards, or a trainer card, depending on what he's got left in his deck. So this tag team Pokemon's got a 210 hit point attack, and its GX attack basically can hit 110 depending on to bench Pokemon, depending on how many energy it has on it. So he's picked up Mallow and Lana, and he's picked up a ADP. He's gonna try and get an energy. So yeah, we've got a water energy on the ADP. I can't remember if he manages. So yeah, just a turn. So once again, I'm in the lead. I didn't see any reason. So me not putting down the last Pokemon has cost me. Not too much, because I would have had to actually find a Zigzagoon as well, which obviously with my hand I can't. But yeah, so we just decide, let's just swing in with the Spiritomb. Giving up one prize, or multiple prizes of my smaller ones. There's only 3 smaller Pokemon on the bench that he can use his GX attack to kill. Not kill, gotta stop saying that, to make them faint. Knock them out, take some prize cards. He gets the tag switch to get an extra energy on there, and then attaches, and then I believe takes out my Spiritomb and my Zigzagoon, and then adds more damage to the Eternatus, which I guess is not a bad play, but he's now got an empty bench and a ADP with no energy, and so no way to attack me, no way to accelerate energy to it, and I just happen to pull a Zigzagoon. Doesn't really make any difference. I could still only do 210, but they're sat there with no way to do anything to me unless they can boss another card and strand it in the active. But looking at my hand, you all know, well, that isn't going to happen. So I get the dub. So we're now into game round 3, game 1 against Feeney 80085. So lost the first one 2-1, won the second one 2-0. So, and now we're playing the guy that's gone 2-0 against the other two guys that are in a tournament, because there was only 4 of us, so we all played each other. He asked me if I want to ID. I don't know what that actually means, so I ask him what the hell he's talking about and find out. So, not been playing that long, didn't know what ID meant. I find out that he basically wants to take a gentleman's draw, so he wins the tournament. But I didn't really have any reason to do that, and as this is my first competition, I felt that, we'll just carry on. He seemed quite happy with that. But yeah, I need the experience, to be honest. I haven't played many games online against what I would call real people. So I sent my reply back and we get on with the game, and I find out he is playing Mewtwo, so the Mewtwo and Mew variation of Pikachu and Zekrom, which, to be honest, I think is a good matchup for us. We basically killed just about everything with Zigzagoon pings. I don't think I actually, even just with a loaded board, Eternatus can kill most of the Pokemon. Keep on saying kill. Oh dear. Knock out most of the Pokemon in this set, in this deck. So yeah, I was feeling fairly happy. I know Pikachu and Zekrom can really go off sometimes, but I felt that I sort of as I've played it a lot, I also know what it's doing. I don't play the Mewtwo version or the Mew 3 version. I just play the normal version. So I know how it works. I know what it wants to try and do. And yeah, looking at my hand, I'm like, wow, this, once again, this, and like he says, that, with my deck and his deck, it's going to be an absolute tear up. So we put the Zigzagoon down, we ping a damage, then we quick ball one of the profs, because we're going to use the other one anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And now it's just a choice of whether we go for more draw off the Crobat or another Eternatus. I think this is a better choice. And now all we really need is a Darkness Energy, and we pull a Crobat as well. So yeah, looking sweet. So we decide to ditch a Darkness Energy because, wow, why not? Why, we're going to draw into more surely. So we have a quick look through our prize cards, to see what is prized. It looks like I've got at least one boss, maybe 2 prized, which isn't the best. So we just take another Zigzagoon, probably ping another damage. And yeah, Crobat for 3. So we're already at 4 on the bench. We've got another Crobat for next turn. We've got a Great Ball. We've got Pokemon Communication. To be honest, it couldn't have really gone much better. I couldn't evolve this turn, obviously being my first turn, and I've now got 2 Eternatus V, both with an energy on them. So if the crushings do come down, like they do, at least we have a little bit of leeway. So I've still got one on the bench. Obviously, if he hits both, then we start again. He's managed to Dedenne away probably at least 2 energy. He's got Tapu Koko to get that energy back into play, but probably doesn't want to do that at the moment. Here comes another hammer. Of course, he hits it. And we give it the big smiley face, because if we're doing it, then we shouldn't be too unhappy about them doing it. And he ends up with 3 energy, and we have 0. But we also have a decent hand, so let's see how we play it. I'm going to Great Ball for the Meowth. I play the Meowth line. Something I've put in there. I'm probably going to take it out and put some more consistency stuff back in. So yeah, we're now in a situation where we're going to have to wait another turn. So we ping another one off of that. So, you know, we're probably going to fill our bench up anyway. So there's probably no real reason, but there's no real reason to ping anything else. So we have a capture energy. Do we really want to use that? Looks like we do. So we stick that on the Eternatus. And yeah, hopefully we pick the Eternatus V, which is, you know, it's fine. It is what it is. We have Amani. He's only got 4 cards. So, you know, his last turn wasn't that explosive. So I just pass it over and sit there and see what happens. I believe this go he gets another Mewtwo, and then electrifies again to it. We've hit a pretty good set of cards. You know, I've got no bench space, which is a bit of a pain. So we're going to be looking for a draw card, or we're going to be looking for a switch. So, you know, the chances are pretty good. And or we could pull into a professor's research and try and find as much as we can. Either way, pretty good. So I'm assuming we Crushing Hammer, we put the energy onto the Eternatus VMAX. That seems the most sensible thing. I believe I hit this. No, my Crushing Hammers weren't crushing at all. They were just hammers. And there we are. We hit the switch card. And we chuck that up just to get rid of its chaotic swell. We crush Dreams with this one. And yeah, switch into Eternatus and goodbye Boltund. And from here, there's no way he is one-shotting me. So I'm definitely going to be 5 prizes up before he does anything, so he decides to scoop. Which I think, you know, unless he hits a load of Crushing Hammers, then probably a good idea. So yeah, game 2. So 1-0. Game 2. And he wants to go second, obviously. Why wouldn't you? So in these 4 games, I went first all 4 times. I can't remember about the first. So Eternatus, I don't think really cares whether he goes first or second. Second is better. because we get the energy acceleration if we can. But yeah, so the quick ball for Eternatus. Pokemon Communicate, I would have thought the yeah. Oh, so we just okay, if I was to do that again, I probably would have got rid of the Alolan Persian. I know that gives me an extra card, but yeah, we haven't really hit anything, and now the decision is, do I put an energy on to the Eternatus V or not, knowing he's playing Crushing Hammers. I think the idea here was just to bait them out. The earlier he actually does it, you know, get them out of the way. And he's got Eldegoss V in his active. Hopefully it's stuck there, he can't do anything about it, and I can have a little bit of a giggle. But yeah, obviously I'm sat here with 2 Crushing Hammers thinking, please don't Marnie me, mister. With Tapu Koko going down so early and the Professor's research, obviously his hand was absolute joke, but Professor's research, excuse me, always there to bail you out. And yeah, but no Electrify at the moment. He's got an air balloon, so he can get the Eldegoss V out of the active if he really feels like it. We have a Attach and probably a Pass. So he hasn't hit his Boltund, which is a shame, which puts him miles behind where he was previously, and I'm sort of ahead of the game. So there goes the energy. Pokemon Communicate the Alolan Persian. Get another Eternatus or the Bat. Yeah, the Bat. The Bat's a good choice, Andrew. Well done. I like the Bat. We're going for the jugular here. This is 4 cards. Hopefully hit something. We hit absolutely nothing, but we're like, well, let's just get on with this. We're going to Pokemon research this whole shebang into the ditch, get an Eternatus VMAX, and shred that Eldegoss. Not really what we were looking for, but with Pokemon Communication we can find what we were looking for. So Spiritomb would be good, or a Zigzagoon would be good, or a Crobat for next turn, but we decide double Eternatus is better than 1. So that goes on the bench. We're going to quick ball, probably a boss, because we've got plenty of them. And now I guess the decision is, do we go for the kill? And the answer to that is probably yes. So that's at 630. That is exactly enough to kill the Eldegoss. And goodbye. So 2 prizes up already. No energy on the board for my opponent. Pretty good. Pretty good. My opponent asks me who I am, basically, because obviously this is supposed to be a local tournament. I have only just started playing, but I am local to the Bournemouth game store, Level Up, and I also know the manager there, the guy that owns it. So yeah. So this is the reason I am actually playing in this one. So just explain that to my opponent. He is now basically sat here with a couple of Mewtwo's that can't really do anything. Crobats for a couple of cards, and Crushing Hammer would be a big Crushing Hammer if he hit it, but he does not. But we get the Great Ball, so we can fill up our bench. So that crushing hammer really did cost them. If they'd hit that, then we would have been definitely in a worse place. And now 2 Eternatus on the bench. So yeah, bossing up the one that's got the energy on it. No need to use a crushing hammer because we're just about to take the energy off the board with the kill. So that, my friends, is the size of it. I believe we have a scoop now, after I did really nasty things to my opponent, which I can only apologise for. And yeah, you know, he's a very nice guy. He decides, well, there you go. And I well played it, which, looking back on it, should not have done that. Because so here we go. I actually came second in the end, but as you can see, all 3 of us have the same record. Unfortunately, the guy at the bottom lost all 3 of his games. So yeah, we all ended up 2-1 with exactly the same win percentages, obviously. And I think it basically was a random pick which one of us came top. Looking back at it, I probably misplayed a little bit in the first game, which first round, sorry, which you guys did not see. Whether that would have made any difference in that second game, I don't know. But yeah, after that, there was a couple of misplays, but I thought my gameplay got a little bit better as we went on. So, like I said, I didn't win, so I have to go into the next one to try and qualify again, and I get 2 more chances at it. So yeah, now the choice is whether to run with Eternatus again. Obviously the 2 guys that I played that probably will be in the next one know I'm running Eternatus, so will they decide to change up just to match me? I do know there's at least 5 people now signed up for the one on Sunday, so that's 2 new people coming along. So I will probably take a look at my Eternatus deck over the weekend and probably tweak a few things, not too much, because it ran really well. It got a bit clunky in one of those games, but yeah, thanks for watching. If this is the sort of content you like, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and then hit that bell so you're the first person to find out about it, and you can tell me what a scrub I am. Get down in the comments if you notice anything with my gameplay that you think I should change. Please be nice. I don't mind constructive criticism. You can call me a scrub if you want to, but if you're gonna call me a scrub, have some feedback. Yeah, so I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.